Hey everybody, it's Dan. One of the things that I notice that shows up in a lot of the golf lessons I give, particularly with a golfer who's really struggled with the game for a long period of time, is that they have really learned to see it in a way that doesn't even really allow their body to do what it naturally is already good at doing. And so what we're going to talk about today in this video is understanding the golf swing as a reach, and really where a little bit of a test or a litmus test if you really can understand how your body naturally moves when it reaches, and then how to work that back into seeing the golf swing more clearly. All right, let's get started. When anybody comes to me for a first golf lesson, the most important part that I feel that has to be introduced, it isn't to correct their golf swing. Sure, I'll video their golf swing and I'll take a look and see kind of what's going on, but it's to clarify the true perception and intention of the golf motion. And I like to use the analogy of reaching the most because it's the most simple and basic thing. It gets us away from the idea that there's something I've got to do with this foreign object and gets me familiar, or gets me kind of in touch with the way my body naturally moves. And when it comes down to hitting a golf shot, actually, it really is going to be the dynamics of the way we reach towards something, not what we think as this swinging, forceful motion, but something that actually is quite effortless and natural. So that starting exercise that I start with everybody is I take a range basket like so, and I just kind of put it on the ground in front of them. I say, hey, get in your basic kind of golf setup. And I ask them, okay, can you just simply, touch the basket? And after a while, sometimes the first thing they do, they're very cautious with it. But as I just have them keep doing it, what generally starts to happen is it goes from this kind of linear, cautious motion to a more relaxed, easy motion. And the more I ask them to do it a little quicker, the more naturally the body actually responds. So when we reach, we allow something to surge ahead, and we don't pull on anything, and we don't push on anything. This is the dynamics of movement in the gravity of Earth that our body is instinctively good at doing. It allows the natural pressure in our body to create a reaching, extending movement, okay? And it's never in a line, it's always in a curve. So this is a natural movement. Now the funny piece is that when people come back to, when they do this, I'm going to change this exercise a little bit, I'm going to make it a little bit more golf-like. Most players that are struggling with golf don't reach in their instinctive way. They actually change the way they reach. So now I'm going to have them do a reach that's more like a golf swing, because a golf swing, technically we reach from way back here. So I have them, hey, pull your hand back here. Now I want you to reach to the basket. And 9 times out of 10, unless it's a new golfer, they have no golf experience, this is what I get. Now, I don't know anybody that would pick something off the ground that would reach way over there and almost fall over to do that. The most natural movement is the easiest movement. It would be much more like a swimmer. So the body senses movement in such a different, easy way, we oftentimes forget about it. And again, this is just a simple function of gravity and being on Earth and our evolution on Earth. So if somebody sees the golf swing and is corrupted already by it, they have to make some sort of an arc out here happen. They don't understand the simplicity of the golf swing. And as we get deeper into this video, we're going to understand the intention of reaching actually creates the arc that you want, but also at the same time, the body moves in the correct support, which then solves some of the illusions that we see in the elite golf motion. So this is something that I think that everybody should do as a kind of a litmus test. Hey, where are you in the perception of your just natural body movement? Well, if you can do this easy, why would I do that? Reorient yourself. Hey, the easiest way is like that. Okay, I get it. Now, the body and its joints bend naturally like that. So when we reach for something, we look more like a swimmer. We also get to reach, generally when we reach with one element, we counter with the other. So there's always a counter reach, if you will. There's always an efficient movement around the line, around the body. Now, if I reach with 2 hands, that changes things a bit, doesn't it? That's where we start to get in some of the complexities of the golf swing. So the way the body balances the reach with 2 is a little bit different. And of course, it changes everything. And of course, when we put the club in our hand, that's going to change what we're reaching with. And that's what we're going to explore in the next part of our video. All right, now let's move on to the golf club. What is it like to reach with the golf club? Okay, so when we hold it with 2 hands, as we normally do, and use it as it's designed to be used, which is to have it connected at the far end, which gives us the most amount of natural extension from the body, which is going to give us more club head speed. a problem starts to come out. A problem comes out that in the language of our golf swing, we feel, or in golf, there's a part of us that thinks we need to swing. When someone needs to swing, as I've talked about in many of my other videos, they're going to apply leverage to the golf club, and the golf club is going to end up putting a force back on their body. They're falling off balance constantly. So the next thing that I always do in a first lesson with anybody, now I give them the context of what it is like to reach with the golf club, but I take away the thing that's distracting them. That sense of the weight of the club by simply having them set up to the basket like so, and sliding the hands down like so. So I call this the hockey exercise, okay? So it looks much more like hockey. When one holds a golf club like this isn't so heavy. It actually becomes more intuitively part of the body. It becomes a new experience. When one holds it like this, it's a lot more difficult to get it to feel like part of your body until it's actually in motion, okay? So we're gonna start from here, set to there, move to here. Now what I wanna do is I wanna get somebody to learn how to reach in the path of least resistance. Now the body's going to move much more like a golf swing because the arms are going to be on one side of the body, if you will, always. I'm not going to be able to counterbalance one reach with this. They're going to be more connected together. So when I move back, the first thing is, hey, what happens when I just reach with the golf club like so? Oh, well, yeah, my body seems to naturally turn, and it's very easy for me just to kind of tap that, okay? Then I'm going to take it into the full golf swing now, and I'm going to reach back like this. What I want to do is I want to get the club in the easiest place to reach the most efficiently back to that same spot. And all of a sudden now we start to have that. Now, again, what tends to happen if you're really kind of corrupted with the idea of controlling and making the club do something is that people tend to do this. See, that's not the most efficient path. The most efficient path is a reach in a constant arc or a constant angle. So I'm making a spiraling type reaching movement, and of course the way the body does that it's easiest, it allows it to happen. So all parts of the body move in support of that. That's what creates the movement that we see in elite players. So an elite player isn't trying to get in front and swing the club, they're simply allowing it to reach, which then easily turns into a throwing action that is supported in the exact same way. The challenge again always becomes that whenever you use the golf club, that you have to learn how to bypass the center of mass and let the reach happen. So in a first lesson, I love to see this. Hey, do I understand the intention? Okay, this is how my body naturally moves with that. If you see that from down the line here, you can see, oh, that travels a pretty simple path. That has that kind of, again, that slight in to out swing path without trying to do that, and it feels very, very light. So once I get somebody that can do that, well, can you do that with the golf club, okay, in a regular setup? And again, this is where we start to become aware. It's like, oh my gosh, I do things that I don't need to do. But this ought to look pretty much the same. And now what do you see? Oh, you see that little descending, lagging motion that we think is some action with the wrists. It's not. It's just simply letting the body naturally reach in the direction of the intention. What do you get for free when that happens? Well, when a player reaches, club head swings. So the reach of the golf swing creates a natural acceleration of the golf club as it continues to expand, and it gives you what we see as the golf swing. So it's not something that you actually do to the golf club or hold and release. It's something that just simply happens from the understanding of reaching. So that exercise is one of my favorite things, again, to just clarify the perception of what the golf swing is. Once the perception is clarified and you see it in a new way, you'll start exploring the movements that allow you to truly unlock and tap into what is your potential elite golf swing. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. We'll see you all next time.